Hello everyone, I am Pastor Brett Finster. I'm one of the associate pastors here at Rock Harbor Church in Bakersfield, California. And today we're going to be doing a response video to Rev.Brandan Robertson. Now, this guy's out there and he has millions of views, millions of likes, and he's influencing a lot of young people. And with that, he has a lot of messed up and distorted doctrine. He's a progressive Christian, and he's also a homosexual, and he promotes the LGBTQ plus lifestyle as well. And he's been on record and on video of showing tons of stuff that is so unbiblical and blasphemy statements that he will make. But today we're going to be looking at one of his videos, and I'm going to do a response video to it. As well as we go on, I'll do more response videos to other videos he has also done as well. And guys, this guy is nothing more than an imposter in the pulpit. And so what we'll do is, I'll go ahead, we'll play this clip, watch this clip, and then I'll come back with a response.
I need a lot more than 60 seconds to answer this question, but quite simply I'll say this. Sex before marriage is not necessarily sinful. The Bible doesn't say sex before marriage is sinful. The word that is often mistranslated as fornication is porneia in Greek. And if you look up any Greek dictionary, the word porneia, it's this big broad word that means all sorts of sexual immorality. And it usually is talking about sexual exploitation and abuse, not about premarital sex. So outside of that word, there's no other condemnation in the Bible of premarital sex. What's important is that when we're dealing with sex, we're not allowing our desires to control us. We're not objectifying other people. We should hold sexuality as a gift. We should explore it. We should come to understand our own sexuality and sexual drive because it is a gift from God. But we should do it in the context of being consensual, of not objectifying other people, and of not falling into addictive cycles of being controlled by our sexual impulses. That's what I think about the Bible definition of sex and sexuality.
So he's correct that in the Greek, the word translated as fornication in the New Testament is porneia. This word is the word from which we get the word pornography from. Okay, so which literally means sexual immoral writings. It's also a catch-all word to any kind of sexual immoral behavior. So it's not a mistranslation that he's trying to say, and he tries to say this to make it seem okay to have sex outside of marriage. Okay, we can accurately understand the New Testament reference to porneia if we consider the overall testimony of the Hebrew Bible regarding sexual ethics and how those ethics were understood in the Jewish culture of Jesus' day. So obviously you can go back and look at the original design in Genesis 2:23 through 24. Okay, God instituted the first marriage. Okay, Jesus goes on in Matthew 19:3 through 6. When the Pharisees question him about divorce, the biblical standard for sexual behavior is between one man and one woman as a fulfillment of the covenant of marriage. It was also referenced in the Ten Commandments, you shall not commit adultery. So adultery would be having any kind of sexual activity with anyone that is not your spouse. So Jesus went on even further, even more in Matthew 5:27 through 28. And he says this, you have heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that anyone who looks at a woman with lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Oh. So any behavior towards another person who is not your spouse, including behavior of the heart that inflames you with lust for the person, is sin. Sexual intimacy outside of marriage, as marriage has been defined by the Bible, is sin. Plain and simple. Guys, marriage is so sacred. And there was a reason God put on the boundaries of it being sex only being inside of marriage. It wasn't to punish you. It wasn't to be like, oh no, you can't have any fun. No, it was to protect you. It was to keep you from trauma and hurts. There's a bonding aspect. I'll just touch on this part. There's a bonding aspect that happens when two people come together physically. And it's like taking a blue piece of paper and a green piece of paper, gluing it together, putting it together, and ripping it apart, and little pieces are left. So every time you go around to the next partner, you're leaving little pieces of yourself with them. You're losing it, which then, when you do get married, makes it harder for bonding and connection. So there is a reason that God says it's only for marriage, and it's not to punish you. Again, it's to protect you. Premarital sex was one of the many types of sexual behaviors considered as porneia in Jesus' day. So when porneia is used by Jesus and other New Testament authors to describe sexual and immoral behavior, this includes sex outside of marriage. Now, there's forgiveness if you've done this, right? And you can get back into fellowship with God. And if you're not a believer, then you need to do that first. But I make this response video, and I'm going to plan on making more to this guy because, again, millions of people are watching this and liking this and seeing this guy. And he's nothing but an imposter in the pulpits. And we must stand up to this and counteract all this going on. Because just like last week in my other video when I talked about 37% of pastors, only 37% have a biblical worldview. We have a huge problem out there. And a lot of people don't have a good biblical foundation. They can't defend their faith, and they go and they listen to this guy, and they think, oh, that sounds good, right? Because what this guy does is, all he does is read the Bible and then make it fit his lifestyle. That's what he does. He doesn't take the Bible and read it for what it is, and whether he agrees with it or not, and trusting that God knows best. He goes, no, I'm going to make it fit my lifestyle so I can have my cake and eat it too, is what he's trying to do. And we must stand up against this, and we must confront this, and we must call this kind of false teaching out. So I hope this video was helpful and fruitful for you guys. Please like and subscribe. As well, you can go check out my Facebook and Instagram at Pastor Brett Finster. I thank you guys again for watching, and God bless.